Hello, everyone. It is Devil here, and I think I might have been wrong about GMX. So, British Protocol pre-releases happen this week. I picked up a bunch of the GMX stuff since it was all low rarity, and people just did not want it. And I built this in Edo Pro, and I've actually been really liking how the deck feels. So, this is a GMX Jurak and it feels honestly really, really good. What I like about the GMX is they're good kind of searchers for what you need in the Dino archetype. Because of how this fusion spell works, as long as you find a dino you're looking for, something like a Stego, Soleating Oviraptor, uh, you can fuse into that using one of these and whatever dino you need, go into Alios and use Alios's revive to bring it back. Now, I also have been testing the deck in Genesis a little bit, and even though I think it's alright, what I think really holds it back in Genesis is the lack of an EMC, because even though I think the GMX direct deck is cool in Genesis, it sometimes does struggle with zones. But here's a brief look at the list. Two researcher, two chairman, two of the Anarchetype Dino, and three of the fusion spell. This feels good. Uh, you don't really want to be seeing many of these in your opener. Like, this is the one you really want to see in your opener because there's lots of plays you can do with it. You don't want to be opening with this. You ideally want to be summoning it with something like either Researcher or Misk. And Sherman is just, it's another name, and it's better than the other one, in my opinion. Plus, because it can grab you the field spell. And three of this fusion spell, because this is a really good starter for the deck. And then typical Jurak package: three Stegos, three Megalo, three Alios, three Volcanoes. None of the trap main deck. I do have one in the side. And then to round off the Dino package, we've got three Soleating Oviraptors, one UCT, one Misk, and three Fossil Dig. I was playing additional copies. I was playing all of these at three in the initial build, but I decided to go down to two to play three Fossil Dig because this feels really good. The deck can actually function pretty well under Droll, which is what I like. And then for non-engine, still need to figure out what's good for this, and I'm not spending $1 million on crowns. So I'm just doing Ash, Droll, Droplet, Called by Inperm, just like as a starting basis to see how I feel about the deck. Now for the extra, two of each fusion. This one is just a really good extender. This is always the first thing I fusion summon with this because it can get back any dino in grave, including UCT if it's been properly been summoned. And this one is your quote unquote interruption, but it also can get you some follow up like another chairman or one of the fusion spell. One can you do spells? No, but it can get you a chairman, it can get you a researcher, it could get you a Jurax, a leading Overraptor, anything. Then three of each of these, because that's standard. The five you bridge through. It is one of Dolka and one of Lagia. It is theoretically possible that in the combo, before Stego's lock, you can just make a rank 4, so that's what they're for. One Reprodelcus and one Transcensosaurus Exoraptor. The reason this one gets played is because there are some times where you just need a generic link that you can make under Stego. And if you would see, there are very few options. And Reprodelcus is generic, and it's a 2. This one also is generic, but it's a 3. I mean, no, this one's like less generic, but I mean, you can still make it quite good in this. But to be fair, honestly, Dino just needs some like more Link 2s. It's possible. I actually do think that's probably better, so I'm gonna make that adjustment. And then typical side engine, trying some Book of Eclipses, and then one of the trap because Astero can set the trap, which is nice. Anyways, let me just show you a few of the combos I have been finding out in this deck. Okay, so this is a one card that can bridge Dirac into uh, GMX, and it is one card off of Stego. So normally Stego activates effect, dumping Misk, getting 4, and then just going to do the standard Synchro line up into the 10 star. 10 star, set the field spell. Misk, grab Return Dino, which can, on special, get Chairman. Chairman can search for that. Now, this is where the combo is very not RGB, RNG, that's the correct fucking term, where you need to hit kind of the dinos you're looking for, or just, you can sometimes whiff on this. Uh, if it takes a while to get to one, that sometimes could hurt. If you get a bad one like UCT, that could also be bad. But activate that. We luckily get really lucky and get a Soul Eating Oviraptor. So we use that in the Researcher. We can then activate our Volcano, popping the Astero to bring back a Megalo. Use Elios's effect to bring back the Soul Eating Oviraptor that we used for Fusion Material. Activate that, grab UCT, activate that, popping the Megalo, bringing back that. Megalo triggers dumping an Astero for the Meteor Summon, which is a board wipe. Fuse these two off into this one, summon UCT. Okay, so this end board is really, really good. You obviously have Velox, which gets you an extra dino and a pop of an opponent's uh you can pop any opponent's card and get a dino or GMX in the process. You can get another chairman, a researcher, you can get lots for follow-up. You have the field spell, which if they special 4 more times, translate into a meteor summon, which is a board right. UCT is a Book of Eclipse without your opponent drawing by popping. Astero is a summon negate by banishing 2 dinos. And when it goes to grave, it is a quick effect meteor, which uh, pops everything on field. We have already one Astero in grave, so we have access to 2 meteors here. But because of how meteor works, on the summon of our first one, we bring back a Megalo, and then when we go for the second one, Megalo gets popped again, dumping the third Astero, so we can access all 3 meteors off of just one card. So this is three board wipes, summon negate, Book of Eclipse, and a targeting pop that searches extension off of one card. It is kind of RNG dependent. It really depends on what dinosaur you hit off of GMX. There are definitely times you can whiff. Uh, Hitting something like a Return Dino is unfortunate sometimes. Hitting UCT is unfortunate, but besides that, it's like pretty solid. Anyways, allow me to show you a few other uh, combos. Okay, so this RNG-esque combo has a Soul Eating Oviraptor as my one card. And you begin with this getting Misk. Activate Misk to make all the dinosaurs unaffected. Go for Dyna. Dyna, get Chairman. We've seen this part before. Get the spell. Now, ideally, we want to get a Stego off of this, which luckily we do, but we do end up taking quite a lot of damage. We go for Elios, bring back the Stego. We confuse into that in the EMZ, then just Jurax stuff again. Go for the field spell. Then we can go field spell, pop the Astero, get another Megalo, Oviraptor, cycle to get Megalo and Grave. Okay, so the Zen board is definitely less powerful. We don't have the UCT, but we still have access to about 3 board wipes, the Summon Negate, and the Velox Pop that gets you Dinosaur. Again, this one definitely depends a lot more on what dinos you hit off of GMX Applied Experiment. We got really lucky with hitting Stego, which that's the main one we wanted to hit, and it would have been unfortunate if we didn't. Uh, but let me just show you one last final funny combo that I think is cool. That's just worth showing off. I don't know. I like it. Okay, so this is a 2 card that uses Researcher and Volcano. Activate Volcano, and GMX can get any level 3 or lower GMX or dinosaur monster, which, funnily enough, Megalo fits that bill. So we can activate Volcano, get the Megalo Engrave, and that gets Ashtar Engrave. So we already have 1 board wipe, then Jurak line again. This would be good for going first on like a later game where we have the trap, so we have an additional board wipe. Anyways, since we're like already have the fusion material, I decided to do something a little bit interesting here, where I cycle the Misk with the Alos for follow up next turn and end on both fusion. So this will mean I'm getting a lot of life points. I still have a ton of board wipes. Overall, I really like how this deck feels. Even though I don't think it's going to be the best strategy by a long shot, it still feels decent. A lot of board wipes, like 3 board wipes, feels really good. Uh, the deck feels like it has a really good game plan. Hopefully, the next wave has some cards that help you get back into the game when it come on like turn 3 and stuff. Also, I genuinely hope that they make a Dino Link 2 that does something, because Reaper Docus is fine, but a Dino Link 2 that actually did something would be nice. Uh, Anyways, I just wanted to talk about this deck and say I think this deck has actually quite a lot of potential. Pre Blazing Dominion. Then again, we don't know what we're getting, so there's a chance that the Blazing Dominion stuff is so good that this direct pile is not even needed anymore. But anyways, let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you all in the next video.